Hey everybody, welcome to my live. Just wanted to take a few minutes, hey Clint, to talk to everyone about my new book. I think when people start talking about books, it is like, oh my god, who has time to read? Those type of things. Hey, it's Jenna. Welcome. So talking about my new book, and you can see it's super tiny. It is a total of 34 pages, and that's including the contents and then the foreword, and also the hey Chris, hey Joe, hey Brett, nice to see you, hey Cookie, introduction. But I wanted to take a few minutes today and introduce you a little bit to my book. So every other page is a hey David, hey Joseph, is a quote that got me through life, because life's fucking hard in reality. And so these snap moment series is what I call them, are just to help other people think about life, think about getting through, keep going, pushing, striving. Hey Donnie, hey David. And so I wanted to take a minute today and just read a couple minutes of this. So like I said, every other page is a quote that got me through whatever struggle I was going in. And I can seriously tell you that it, even though this is tiny and short, it's a 15-minute read, but it has some really good details as far as, hey Roll, Freddie and Sharon, thanks for joining. Has some really good details about life in general. And I went from being a small town country kid, nobody influencing me in a one way or another, to picking up my boots, putting them on, and every day struggling between the ADHD, between health issues, between fighting my constant struggle with weight, back ailment to the point that my doctor said I'd be in a wheelchair by 40. So high five for not being in a wheelchair. But everything has been a fight. And so I just want to encourage people, like, to set goals and to really try to strive for the things you want, because people are going to tell you no, people are going to shut you down, and yeah, it's still either you either face your fears and you keep pushing ahead, or you give up. So the first, I think maybe it's the second, no, it's the first quote that's in my book here, is the man in the arena. And I won't read all of it, but it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who strives, who comes up short again and again. And to me, like, that's us. That's life. That is, unless you're just born with a silver spoon, I think they say, that's it. You have to keep taking the blows, and getting back in the arena, and you have to keep fighting. And so that is what my Snap series books are about. I have 17 that I have written so far, but only one I published. I just started. My sister is like, you need to do this. And so with her encouragement, hey John, hey Estera, and support from my family and my husband, I finally did it. And like I said, it's a 15-minute read. But I'll read you the back of kind of my narrative on here. So, embark on a journey where life's pivotal moments mirror the snap of an American football game. crucial, unpredictable, and game-changing. Just like a quarterback navigating the field after the snap. The Snap series is your guide to turning unexpected twists into opportunities for growth and success. Get ready for a playbook of real-life stories, humor, sentiment, and inspiration that will empower you to face life's challenges head-on, 1 yard at a time. And so that's my narrative on the back, and I share that with you because I really do want people to read this, to give me feedback. I want to, like I said, I have 17 of these little guys. Only one published so far, so I want people's feedback to say, hey, we do like this, we want to hear about that, XYZ, because I really want to write these for you, for the people, to share these, to be able to help others. I initially went in to get my master's in counseling and found that wasn't my calling. I did still end up with a PhD in IO psychology, which is basically like, how do I help make the workplace a place that people want to come to every day? And so that's what I do in my day-to-day, but my heart and my love is for people, for humans, for helping to get to a better point. I am a huge advocate of setting goals, writing things down on sticky notes, setting goals that way. Oh my God, this will just give you a quick and dirty example of my my sticky notes in my collection. Like pillars for self-esteem, managing your green-eyed monster, working on your self-esteem, loving others, thanking people in advance, practicing mindfulness, being positive, acknowledging problems, emotional growth, research, confidence, securities, relationships, listening, the art of listening, being supportive, not being a blocker or ignorer or a disruptor, believing in yourself, challenging yourself, pushing yourself further than you want to, being proud of yourself, thanking yourself, doing things for your health, doing things for your mind. So like I said, these are my stickies of just everything from goals to things that I am striving to be better at, because every day the goal in life is to be better than you were the day before, and that is my challenge to you. So I hope that from this, I hope that you really take a minute, grab this. The link is in my bio. It's both paperback and it's also an ebook. So if you want to buy it on Kindle, if you do, when you go to the link, you can't buy it per se from Kindle, and you can't buy it from the actual Amazon app, I guess. You have to go to like a Google or Safari or whatever and open it that way and then add the link in there. But I really encourage you to read it, give me some feedback and thoughts on. I posted some ideas of, or I guess it's my Excel deck of a spreadsheet of what my other content is that I want to share with everyone. So would love to hear what you think of this one, and also what you think of for my next snap that I release to the world. And just, I'll give you a sneak peek into, I think if you click on the Kindle, you can at least see like the intro page or something, but see. I'll just give you a little of the foreword. So, a long time ago in a faraway galaxy, just kidding. It was 2011 in Michigan when I started the quest to obtain a PhD in industrial organizational psychology. And it was almost incredulous to think I was even considering such a formidable challenge. My then boyfriend, now husband, encouraged me to go after my dreams to obtain this degree because he wanted to be a stay-at-home dog dad. Nah, just joking. Well, kind of. In all seriousness, he saw me identify the flaws in the system. I worked in children's services for 10 years, and he saw that my heart was crushed when I had to do something because it was in black and white because of a policy or something that had no gray area. And so I went into get my PhD in IO psychology, and I worked in a few different consulting firms after I got my PhD, and lo and behold, I am creating part of a team that's creating a system for child welfare staff. So come full circle, I'm literally putting together the pieces for these crazy social workers who are out there every day risking their lives to save kids and put families back together. So another piece of why I want to share this with everybody. So that was my driving passion. It was serving people, serving staff, and that was my tipping point to my educational journey. So I struggled most of my life with negativity, overanalyzing, ADHD also, and dyslexia at times. Every thought, action, and situation that happened. So to combat this negativity that was consistently looping in my head after someone would ask me an asshole question like, do you know you have to write a dissertation after you get your PhD? I'm like, yeah, I'm already in the program. If that is how stupid you think I am, awesome. But awesome, yes, I've done the research and I know that I have to do that. And my dissertation also is about health and human services and the burnout and the turnover that is seen every day, because that is the hardest job that I ever had in my entire life, was working as a children's services worker. The most rewarding job. I saw kids come out of things that I can't even, when I would talk about what was going on in the home, like, people would be like, you can't make that shit up. A, you can't make that shit up. And B, like, oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking. And to see these kids bounce back and become successful adults and watch them, like I said, it was in 10 years, so some of the people literally became adults and went on to college and those things. So it was very cool in that aspect that I got to be a part of getting them out of a situation that was all they knew for more of their life than not, and putting them somewhere, helping them. You know, I tried to do fictive kin or family anytime I could. If I couldn't find, if we couldn't leave them and get help for the family, that was always the first choice. But it was honestly the hardest job ever. So I wrote my dissertation about this in the hopes that people, like organizations that I work for, would read it and say, oh, okay, how can we change this? And obviously with me getting a PhD in IO psychology, also, how can I change this? So with all of my own crazy negativity in my head, coming from a small community, not having any financial backing for an education or any just general knowledge. My parents didn't go to college. My siblings didn't go to college. I was the first of 5 to go to college. So being able to now sit here and say that I figured out all of these pieces, and then I wrote this one of 17 books to help motivate people to do what they truly want to do with their life. So another piece, I started buying motivational day calendars, reposting positive memes online, and reading an unsurmountable number of self-help books. If you could see my bookshelves and my Kindle app, you might have suggested I save some money and just go to therapy. But from all of the great scholars and motivational creators before me, I learned to become a better me, and that's all you can do. And I realized I need to get that negative shit out of my head. So this is what I did. I started writing. It started as a journal, and it became these stories, accounts of my life that I feel like I can share with people, and hopefully that they can take something away in the aspiration to either A, get negative shit out of their head, or just to become a better you. So today I have 20 different short stories to share about my struggles, my failures, more failures, and all comes with stepping into the ring, because I didn't want to leave this world without knowing victory or defeat. And I want the same for you. So the Snap Moments series are here to give you the motivation to get off your ass in the game of life and fight towards achieving personal growth, professional achievements, relationships, health, whatever it is that you desire to be the best you. In addition, sprinkled throughout the books are my favorite memes, my quotes that kept me motivated to keep stepping back into the ring. So that is what these are about. I hope that you guys friend me. I hope that you buy my book and read it so that it is a motivational piece for you. I hope that you give me some true feedback. And don't be afraid to reach out. Like, I was not involved in the TikTok community, and my sister recommended I get on here and network, and she's like, you need to share these with people. They're great. They are really motivational, and she's probably a little biased because she's my sister, but I do think that these stories are pretty cool, and not just because I wrote them, but because I think it's so important to talk about the struggles, the failures, life. It's, we're all striving to be a better dad, a better mom, excuse me, a better human, a better sister, sibling. And that is the goal of all of this, to day by day figure out what that snap moment is, figure out where your next decision is, figure out where your next step is towards becoming a better you. So Crystal, Nash, Tracy, user 775, and Chris, thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to try to do more lives and talk through my books and just share some of these stories of life, of failures, of everything that came in between, because that's the reality. It's not a TikTok or Instagram super story. It's just real life shit. And I think it's important that we talk about things, whether it be having and struggling with weight or disease, being chronic. For me, it's my back. And I know that there's others, but I love talking about health. I love talking about nutrition, how I changed my doctor said I would be in a wheelchair by 40. And if I didn't change my diet and I didn't change my exercise routines. And so I did. I went to yoga and I changed my eating habits to go on a very high anti-inflammatory diet. And there were days that and when I say days, not joking or exaggerating there. Like there was one specific time I can recall. I was 3 days where I couldn't move off of the floor. I crawled to the bathroom to use the bathroom. Everything hurt, and I refused to take medication because working in children's services, I saw so many people that were given medication at probably higher doses than they needed or more frequent than they needed. And so I saw a lot of those people who became addicted, and that scared me. And one of my titles that you'll see if you look through my post that I posted yesterday was one of my books is Being Addicted to Not Being Addicted. So I didn't want to take any medications, so I suffered through, but with the help of an anti-inflammatory diet and strengthening my core and my muscles and my back and doing yoga on a bi-weekly basis, nothing crazy. I didn't start going to the gym 5 days a week. I just made tweaks, and I think that everything is about moderation. That's something else I talk about over and over and over again. Hey, Lena. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Donovan. So that's another, my 40-year-old back and not being told at 27 that I was going to be in a wheelchair by 40. Very scary stuff. And I refused to have surgery because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I felt like, again, like I'm going to be the man in the ring. I'm going to get my ass kicked. But hopefully with my ass kicking, I can manage my back. And I did. And here I am now sitting in front of you, and I'm past 40 and I'm not in a wheelchair. So I play volleyball, sand volleyball on Thursdays, and I still work out regular, but I think it's a huge piece of what I put in my body. I'm very, I'm not crazy on anything, and I don't want to say crazy, that sounds bad, but like I'm not all or nothing on any which way. There is no always or never. So I try very hard to eat non-GMO, and I try very hard to eat mostly organic so that I'm getting the least amount of pesticides so that my body is not breaking down free radicals and having to work harder than it has to. I take, my NAC and my glutathione supplements because those are breaking down the free radicals that I am getting in my body, because I'm going to be honest, I don't eat perfect all the time. There's days that I'm like, Jets, yes, bring it, ranch, yes, I'm from the Midwest, I need ranch with my breadsticks. But I think that's everything is moderation. There's days that I'm like, oh, Sour Patch Kids, I love you, I need a bag. And yes, they're no part good for you, and every single time I eat them, I know they're loaded with all the red dyes and the blue dyes and sugar and everything that's not good for you, and they're banned in every other country. But there's days that I'm just like, I'm having a craving, so I go get a bag, and I usually take, and this is me being a fat kid at heart. I take out like one of every color so that I can sample the rainbow. And then I take the rest of them and I either go put them in our outside trash bin because it's disgusting, or I will just flush them down the toilet because I know that I will eat the entire bag in one sitting. And the same thing if it's, I definitely have all of the inner fat kid down to my core. Like I said, I struggled with weight all through high school and early into my adulthood, and that probably was a systemic issue with what caused some of my back pain. But hey, Michelle, thanks for joining. But a piece of that is, you learn, and you learn to eat in moderation. You learn to do everything in moderation. And then you build from there. So the moderation of, if I was at work and we were having a potluck, I would literally take like a spoonful of everything so that I could try things and enjoy the taste, but at the same time, a spoonful, like that's it. And people would look at me like, this chick's nuts or whatever, but I got to taste it. I didn't feel like I had missed out on anything, and I'm still staying in my, so that I don't feel like grotesque when I go back to my desk and I can't move the rest of the day and have the sleep deprivation after lunch, post lunch blues, I think we used to call it at work. Everything's an acronym. Anyways, it's just, I think everything is moderation and learning to not back yourself into a corner or put yourself into a box. Like, you have to figure out what is right for you. And that's what my, the SNAP series are about, is talking through those moments. Like, yep, I was 180 plus pounds and 5'4". Like, not the best statue there. So I think that was a big piece of what played into my back. But learning to understand food, learning to understand how to count my macros, how to, like, even just understanding what works best for you for your exercise. Some people are like, I want to go to spin class, and they go crazy. And other people are like, okay, do weights in the gym and just this, just that. And then they're like, well, why can't I lose any weight? And it's like, you have to be cognizant of all of it. It's not a one size fits all. You have to see what works with your body, what foods work with your body. Like, I know that I can't eat a lot of carbs, but I also know that I'm ungodly strong. And I know I probably don't look like it right now, but like last year I was leg pressing 600 pounds. And when I really put my mind to it and I start to like hit the gym hard, like I'm bench pressing 140, not once, like 3 sets of like 12, 10, 8. And I can't stress enough how important like weightlifting is, because it is building the foundation not only for how your metabolism runs, but it's also building that foundation for longevity and how, like, decreasing your chances to injure yourself. It's all the way around fantastic. Like, my weekly routine is, like I said, I still do a pretty heavy anti-inflammatory diet at least 2 to 3 days a week. I do fresh juice, and you can see that in my videos. My husband, I go to the store, we get every fruit and vegetable that is in the aisles. We put it through a cold press juicer, and we throw it in the fridge for the week. And that's like my breakfast. And you have to get past the taste of things, but I'm like, hey, if you can do a shot at the bar or drink a beer, or some other things that maybe I think are not as amazing, which I'm not saying any of those are not amazing, but what a lot of people are like, yeah, like beer is gross tasting or whatnot. But anyways, if you can get over the fact of, okay, like, yeah, it's not a chocolate smoothie, but I know that my 8 ounces of my juice that I get in the morning is literally every single fruit, vegetable, vitamin and mineral that I could need in a day in just, my 8 to 12 ounces of juice in the morning. And like I said, I'm not all or nothing of anything. It's, whatever it may be. I do weights probably 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes at the gym, sometimes at my house. During COVID, we bought, 5 pounds up to 40, and so we have all of the weights, and they're in our garage. We bring them in, and we do like a weight video, like Shaun T or something. And then, for me, I know, like, if I'm trying to, like, if I have my clothes, and I don't generally get on the scale, like, maybe once in a while just to, like, peep it out. But, it's more about how are my clothes fitting? Do I feel like, oh my God, like, I definitely have a full, like, can't button my pants, or I have a crazy muffin top, or, you just don't feel good. Like, so I take that as kind of my gauge to measure. And if I'm really trying to, per se, like, get cut, get in shape for like a vacation or something, like, I'll do my measurements with an actual tape measure 3 months out before we start working out. But in general, I would say I do like 2 days of cardio. I do, and because I have my bad back, like, I'll do either an elliptical, or I do an uphill, like 10% uphill incline, and then I walk at like as fast as I can without dying, like 3.5. And I know I do play volleyball, and it's probably not the best thing in the world for my back, but hey, fellas, it has been a love of mine for a long time, since my early 20s, and it's sand, and it's just one of those things that I feel like if you keep going, generally you can supersede your body with your mind. So like I said, if anybody has any questions, please send me a message. I love people, which is probably weird, but I do. I got a degree after 10 years of torture, I call it, with working children's services, but at the same time it was most rewarding, most difficult job of my life, but also wouldn't take it back in a minute for anything. But it pushed me into my degree and drove me to write my first book. And like I said, it's very small. They're supposed to be. I was not a reader. I still don't love reading. I read a lot because I know it's good for my mental health and keeping my brain strong, and keeping my ADHD under control. But yeah, my book is not crazy big. I think on Amazon it said 15-minute read. I am planning to put it on, hey Violet, planning to put it on to audiobook, because I know some people are just not readers, so even though it's small, but you can get it in a hard copy, you can get it in the Kindle ebook, and the link is in my bio. You just can't buy it from the Kindle app, and you can't buy it from the Amazon app for whatever reason. So anyways, I hope everybody has an awesome day. Thank you all so much for joining, for listening to me, and please reach out if you have any questions. I'm so loving the TikTok world and engaging with people and meeting new people and reading your stories, watching your videos, and hoping that we can support one another and in our daily walk of life and being a better you tomorrow. So thanks everyone.